This region around the Great Lakes has been called the heartland. When it comes to agriculture, there's hardly an area in the world that compares.
Everybody, just hold on. I don't know what we're gonna have here.
That's what brings the viewers back. That a boy.
Manage money, piling in.
Double digits higher.
So at this point, we're in kind of uncharted territory.
There's a lot of money on the sidelines.
So that was a crazy one.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's 11:15, and this is a bonus edition of the War Room. I'm Dan Dempsey, and I'll be moderating this session. As always, if you get any questions or comments, please feel free to drop us a line in the chat area. We'll be sure to get to it during the show. Let's get a quick rundown on the markets here real quick. Sep corn's down 12.5 at 372 3/4. September beans are up 9 1/4 at 10.01. And September Chicago wheat's down 10.5 at 504.5. A couple of highlights here quickly from the USDA report. Significant yield bump, 188.8. That's against 181 in July. The average guess was looking for 184.4. On the bean side, 53.6, also higher than that had been estimated. 52.9 was the average guess, and July was 52.5. I think the big shocker here to a lot of people was the acreage. A couple million acres increased in the corn number, up to about 97 million corn acres, and beans at 80.9. So with that, you get U.S. ending stocks 2.117 and beans at 290. Just a real big head scratcher here, Justin. I don't know that we've seen something like this, and I don't know if I've ever seen something like this. So I guess share a few initial thoughts here as we look at this.
Yeah, I mean, what do you say? Obviously, they have some FSA data that led them to raise acres in corn and lower them in beans, and they have a 188. I mean, so you're basically the very top end of all guesses on yield and increased acres by 2 million. I mean, I'm actually surprised we're not limit down in corn, to be honest with you. They, to get a 2-1 carry out, they had to raise demand 500 million bushels. So rightfully so, beans corn ratios making new highs by a wide margin today. I'd expect that to continue. I mean, you have a big bean yield written down, obviously get bigger with a 290 carry out. Yeah, I would expect that to continue. I mean, it's going to have to rebalance acres in the world at these numbers. So it makes sense what we're doing today. I would expect that to continue to widen out, beans gaining on corn for now. That's just a bombshell to drop, 188.8 yield. So you're basically 10 bushels above the previous record with record acres. So I'm shocked we're only down 11, to be honest with you. So maybe that's just part of.
Yeah, Justin, and I was going to say, I mean, you've kind of backed yourself into a corner here a little bit. I mean, a small hiccup on the finish of this bean crop could get pretty wild. Would you agree at these numbers?
Yeah, there's no buffer. Obviously, the demand, as we talked about, still in question, right? So you could shave a lot of bushels off there if there's a real bad falling out with China, or so the demand side on beans is obviously more in question to get to that number. So that could be some of the temperament we're seeing here on the bean side, because you could argue that beans should be sharply higher, more than just 12 cents. But yeah, I would be surprised if this isn't maybe the biggest production number that we see in corn, but who can say that at this point? So, when private estimates were coming out at 186 and 188, people were getting upset when the government, said, hold my beer, basically. Here, so.
Where's the extra 2 million corn acres coming from, too? So it's just wild.
Well, we lost in beans.
Well, it's coming 550,000 from Kansas, 350,000 North Dakota, 300,000 South Dakota.
And
so
then
1 million from the
right, and you put that yield out. It's wild.
It's absolutely insane. I mean, the FSA data must suggest that, right? We'll get that later on. But you talk about demand. They lowered demand for beans, and they lowered carry in. And so that was to get a 290 carry out. So they did lower exports. crush margins where they're at, like that's still a number that might be shy of what we end up getting. So I actually think the bean number is pretty exciting here. I mean, it's really exciting if this is the number. So this
and if China quadruples their imports, I mean,
yeah,
You're one true social away.
Well,
yeah.
And
I mean,
well,
why are
they
people
raised-
more?
they raised bean yields by what, a bushel, over a bushel?
52.5 to 53.
Yeah, and it's like, who cares on this report? Like maybe corn, but like, okay, like
Well,
it's August.
You have to raise it well above the previous all-time record just to get a 290 million bushel carryout with demand rationing. Like, I'm surprised beans are only up 13 right now. 2.7, 2.8 to 1 is very possible, in my opinion, with these types of acreage shifts. It's like the market. I would be very curious just to see where we settle the day on the ratio even.
well, it's interesting too how wide the spreads are. I think you could see a lot of interesting things happen with, Nove versus, July of 26, for example, at super wide carries with this kind of number, because as we go up, you're going to attract, at these ratios, you're going to attract more bean acres in South America. That keys off of the, call it, March forward futures price at a huge carry and a relatively cheap real. I mean, that's the job, I think, is to get the ratios high to incentivize that. But it's I wasn't expecting much fireworks, and once again, proven wrong on these kind of reports. A lot of things can happen. So
yeah, Nove July is already 10 cents in off of its low from a couple of days ago. It's like,
yeah.
So.
Well, as we sit here and talk, just a quick update. I mean, beans are now up 18, so we continue to catch a bid here. Ben, what's on your mind? Anything? Unmute yourself. We'd love to hear from you. He's so good.
This is
Hey,
great.
it's
We could just
great.
we could just do this for Fun Fact Friday.
Unmute yourself, buddy.
Good,
There you go.
good luck with soybeans if we do any material business with China.
Yeah.
But I think it definitely lays the groundwork that we got a big rally. Cannot take your eye off 26, because that's probably the next shoe to fall around the corner. Yeah, down 10 on raising corn acres, and the biggest yield by what, 9-10 bushels ever. We talked last week about where do we define peaks, the biggest part of the crop, and maybe it's on August 12th at 12 p.m. because that's pretty lofty.
I was just going to add to that. I mean, I think you're going to see with this report for the next few weeks, if corn rallies because of beans, it's going to be sold. And if beans break because of corn, it's going to be bought. I think that's how, my guess is how the funds are going to start positioning their trading algorithms. That's how I would do it, at least. I mean, look at the ratio is not impressive by any means compared to historical norms. The crop's already been planted, so the ratio doesn't matter for the nearby contracts. So I would expect that that's going to be the trade that these guys are going to want to have on.
Well, look at here's the ratio, right? Here's today. Like we've kind of been like trending along, like just pushing the envelope a little bit, and all of a sudden we're at a high ratio again. Like, and like you said, it doesn't matter. Like this can get to 3.5 to 1 if it wants to. It's already planted. You have 97 million acres of corn versus 81 of beans, or less than 81 of beans. Like it could be a really interesting end of the year. Like this is kind of a crazy report.
Yeah, it's actually shocking that after the number came out, they gave you a chance to buy beans lower.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of surprising. So,
well, I think everyone was just focused on the yield and on the carryout numbers, that no one was really. If you're looking at only one number at a time when you're pulling it up.
yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's what I did. I mean, they're coming out in chunks, right? And then you pointed out the acres, which I wasn't even on my bingo card. So,
Well, I guess one thing too, rye feeders up $5, so cheap corn.
I mean, yeah, that's not gonna. I mean, like we talked about this morning, this has been these big breaks are big buying opportunities right now, and cheaper feed just, makes everybody want feeders that much more.
That's what my buddy always says, the rich get richer.
That's right.
That's a disgruntled grain guy right there.
Yeah, that's. I mean, everybody wants cattle now. Just that's what it is. You got to pay up.
No, very good. Let's we'll put a wrap here, guys. let's get the last in sep corns down 9.5 at 375.5. Sep beans are up 18 3/4 now at 1010 3/4. And September Chicago wheat is down 8 at 507. We appreciate everybody that tunes in on a daily basis. If you wouldn't mind, throw us a like and certainly subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything to do so. It'll keep you up to speed on everything that's going on with AgYield. So again, thanks to everybody that supports the show. We're doing this live every day that the markets are open on X, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live, 8:15 Central Time. Appreciate you tuning in here today on this bonus War Room edition, and we'll talk to everybody here tomorrow morning.
The War Room is proudly presented by AgYield. For over 50 years, the AgYield team has provided grain marketing and risk management solutions for growers across the country. Our veteran consultants harness cutting-edge technologies to pinpoint risk, optimize market performance, and protect your farm's profitability. Discover a new approach to farm revenue management at agyield.com.
Hey guys, Jack here. Be sure to support the show by hitting the like button, leaving us a comment, and subscribing to the channel for all the latest updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.